Welcome. We are going to be talking about chapter 11 today, all about engaging in a healthy lifestyle. Okay, so this is the outline of things that we were going to cover today. So we're going to cover physical health, sleep, emotional health, mental health, healthy relationships, and safety. So this is a survey about, how you're doing. Um, Talk about fruits and vegetables, getting enough sleep, healthy relationships with friends, family, and managing stress. Okay, so by the end of this chapter, these are the things that you should be able to do, and hopefully you can do everything healthy with all of this. All right, so I want you to take a moment to read this. All right. So has anyone ever told you you are what you eat? Hopefully you are eating healthy enough so that you can stay healthy on the inside and the outside as well, and you don't have any health concerns because of it. All right. So if you do have healthy concerns, or, I know it costs more to eat healthy, the pantry, the Nice Healthy Nights food pantry on campus provides fruits and vegetables and other, cold products. Of course, they have the pantry products too, but it's definitely something to look out for. It's in Farrell Commons, and 10% of UCF students have utilized it. So it's a great thing for you to go to. Okay, so we become unhealthy because we don't eat enough nutrients, or we have too many toxins in our body. Okay, so what is healthy eating? Um, these are some questions to consider. We're going to talk about water, we're going to talk about exercise, sleep, and toxins in this chapter. Okay, lots of different resources out there on how to eat healthy. Here are three I would recommend for you to check out. And when you are eating more whole foods, your body is healthier, because when you eat junk food, you have junk thoughts, or you are what you eat. So it's important to be able to read a label and figure out how you can get all of your nutrients in a day. You can look at all of the percentages there. So you see added sugar here, and this is for a package of fruit, which you may say, oh, that's healthy, but look at all that sugar. You want to eat the whole foods, not prepackaged stuff, if possible. All right. So what you drink, you need to have a lot of water, because it makes up 60-80% of our body mass. And drinking things that are a percentage of water doesn't really count. You need to drink regular water. First thing in the morning, this is when you definitely need water, because your body dehydrates as you sleep. And coffee is not water. So make sure you drink. If you drink coffee, make sure you drink water too. Okay. Exercise. Three different types. Flexibility, which is the range of motions. Strength, producing force. And cardiovascular, how your body can utilize oxygen during exercise. All three are important. Okay. Sleep. Oh, and the Recreation Wellness Center is a great place to go for all three, right? Sleep. 40% of adults don't get enough sleep. Everyone's different. You probably know your body well enough to know how much sleep you do need every night in order to function well. It might be 7, it might be 8, right? It's probably not less than 7. So make sure you do that. If you are sleep deprived, you're going to make poor decisions. You're not going to learn as well. You're not going to be able to study and take in information and remember things. And of course, it's bad for your health. So some things you could do: make sleep a priority. Block out on your calendar when you're going to sleep. If you're playing video games or you're hanging out with friends, you need to have a priority to have sleep over the socialization. Cool, quiet, dark room, right? I wear an eye mask every night. No shame in that. And earplugs. Might want to consider that if your roommates are loud. Don't eat or drink late, because your internal system is going to be processing that. You'll either have to pee a lot if you drink late, or, you might not be able to go to sleep because your body, is breaking down everything that you've been eating. Wind down an hour before bed, which means put the phone away, maybe read, don't watch any screen time, get your body to be ready to go to sleep. Exercise at least 30 minutes a day. That definitely helps your body, go through that cycle so that you have exerted energy and you need a rest and eat a better diet. Okay. So think about, like, how often do you wake up ready to go? If you don't, you probably need to have some more sleep. Okay. Some other great apps for you to look at. So sleep is foundation of amazing health. You definitely should do about 8 hours a night. Um, you definitely don't want to be irritable. And I know college students stay up late, but if your priority is to make good grades and to graduate, sleep should be something that you do to help with that goal. And it's great for your immune system. Okay, so these are some things that can happen to you if you do not sleep well. Type 2 diabetes, um, tremors, aches, irritability, all of these things can happen, right? So if you're doing all this and you're still having trouble sleeping, here's some things that you can do. Um, you can try to see if you have some sort of condition that's preventing you from sleeping. So here are some great apps or different things to look at. And check your magnesium levels. Maybe get some blood work done. Okay. Stress, emotional health. If you're holding on to stress, you want to make sure that you are able to release them. We're going to talk about emotional health here too. Okay, so hopefully you're able to manage your stress and your, relationships and school and work all at the same time. And stress is not always bad, kind of like the stress you feel right before a race starts or right before, on a first date when you're meeting somebody. So that's like anticipation stress, which is good. It's good for you to have that. So not all stress is bad. But sometimes if you're having trouble concentrating, if you're sick a lot, if you're very irritable, if you have trouble sleeping, which we already talked about, this could be signs of bad stress. Some things you can do about it: mindfulness. Try to meditate, try to do yoga, try to just breathe. You've probably heard that before. Um, Take some time just to breathe slowly. Smell the roses, connect, and like look around you. When you're taking a walk, take in nature. These are all things that can help you. It's also good to like give thanks when things are due, right? Um, Letting go of bad feelings, of relationships that are stressing you out, releasing those from you really help. Okay, now we're going to talk about mental health and how to take care of it. I don't know if you know this, but 1 in 4 adults have some sort of mental health concern, but most won't ask help for it. So, the great thing about being here at UCF is that you can get treatment from counseling and psychological services. We also have a psychiatrist with the health center. We also have TAO, which is like a 24-hour help. All of these are here to help you. So these are some concerns that you may have: anxiety, eating disorders, depression, suicidal ideations. Please make sure to seek help if you need it. Here's some other great resources for you in addition to the ones I mentioned with UCF. Okay, so you also want to make sure that you have healthy relationships. So here are some things to consider. Um, do you have good relationships with people? Are they healthy? Do you have healthy self-esteem? How do you feel about yourself? You want to make sure you have a strong community to count on during your time in college because you're going to have to count on other people throughout your time. And you want to make sure you have good sexual health as well. So you want to make sure that you have a community that you can count on. So if you don't have that, we have lots of resources on campus for you. Faith-based communities. If you live on campus, you have housing communities, fraternity sorority life communities, other clubs and organizations, intramural sports. You want to make sure you find your type of group. Going on Night Connect, which you did for your co-curricular activity earlier on this semester, is a great place to try to find your area and your sense of belonging. So this is what makes a relationship healthy. Respect on both sides, trust, support, communication with ease. It doesn't hurt to call them, and an honest relationship. Okay, sexual health. Affection, love, sexual intimacy. These are all parts of a healthy sexual relationship and important for sexual health as well. Okay, so you want to make sure you have all of that if you are in intimate relationships. You want to be safe, right? That is, lower level on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You want to make sure that you're safety conscious and that you have personal safety. You can call STEPS, as a student escort patrol service, to pick you up on campus if you need it. On the back of your ID card is the UCF police numbers, 823-5555. 823 stands for UCF, and the 407 area code. And you want to make sure that you are just conscious of what's going on around you. Here are some things you need to be conscious about and safe about: alcohol, tobacco, marijuana, prescription pain meds, other drugs, are all things that you need to be aware of as far as dangers go, and you make healthy choices. So if you're ever in a situation where you feel like you're not safe, you need to speak up. Know your campus emergency system. Like I said, 823-5555. Protect your drink. There's lots of different things that you can do now with them. Definitely have your hand over it. Make sure you see the person making your drink. Be alert. Be with a buddy. Don't accept rides from strangers. Always go to a place with another person. So if you're a victim of a crime, call 911. 911 goes straight to our UCF police on campus. So that is great. Make sure you have a trusted friend or family member, and victim services is another place you can contact that will get, if you call 823-5555, they will connect with victim services, which is also a campus resource through the police office. Sexual assault is any sexual activity you didn't agree to. It doesn't have to be sex. It can be inappropriate touching, right? So you want to make sure that you seek help if that happens to you here on campus with victim services. Go get medical care. Call 911. If you call 5555 with UCF, they will tell you how to do it. You can go to urgent care, go to a hospital. They will help you. It is against Title 5 or 9 legislation to have sexual assault on campus or to be the perpetrator of that. So we'll go through our student conduct process if you do, report it. So these are the 4 questions that you were thinking about earlier on. Hopefully you have thought about this, about how important fruits and vegetables, sleep, healthy relationships, and stress is as part of your day. All right, that is it for chapter 11. We're going to go into chapter 12 now. All right, chapter 12. Now we're at the end of the book. This is all about your future. So we're going to talk about career planning. So chapter outline, we're going to talk about why you should worry about a career in college, your career planning cycle, and next steps from here. Here are the 4 questions I want you to think about throughout this time. Your major, jobs you can get, what you need to do every year to prepare for graduation, and what campus resources are there to help you. So these are the objectives. Hopefully you'll learn about careers, how it applies to you, identify resources on campus to help you, and increase your self-awareness about your career aspirations. Okay, so why should you consider a job while you're, or what should you consider when choosing a career? And how do you separate career myths from reality? Those are the things that we're going to talk about next. Okay, so there is a difference between a job and a career. A job is just work you do in exchange for money. Okay, this is more short term. A career is longitudinal. It's something that you want to do for your life. It is a path that you want to take. Um, it is what you're majoring in. So a job could be working at McDonald's while you're in college, right? That's not your career unless you're in the management program, right? A career is long term. So these are some myths with careers. Myth number one, just because you have a career or a college degree, you're going to get hired, make lots of money. You need to work on that, right? You need to prepare yourself for that. You're not going to start off making a tons of money usually, right? There's a perfect job for you. You might have to look around a little bit. Myth number three, I can't get a good job with X. There are jobs for every major, okay? Sometimes you have to go to grad school though, okay? Don't base your major on just hot careers that pay well. You need to know that you're going to be happy in those careers as well. Because if you're not happy in a career, it's going to be a waste of your time. It's too late to change my career. Never too late. You probably know lots of people who have changed careers midlife. Myth number six, no one will hire me because I'm just a student. I won't be able to compete with people with more experience. You can gain experience in college, right? There's lots of transferable skills that we'll talk about. I should be passionate about my work. If not, I'm doing something wrong. You should be happy, but if you're not passionate, maybe there's different things that you can do, right? But you're not going to be happy every moment of every day in a job. Your career path should follow a neat straight line. You're going to do lots of this through your career path, most likely. Myth number nine, there are not many jobs out there with good pay and benefits, so why bother looking? Oh, you should always be looking, okay? ABL, always be looking. So what should you be? You should choose your major based on your values, interests, personality, and skills, right? A major or a job career based on what you value in life. Like if you value working with children, right? That should be a consideration. What are you interested in? What is your personality like and what does that lead you to, right? If you're an extroverted person or introverted, if you're an introverted person, sales probably isn't good for you, right? And skills, what are you good at, right? You want to do something you're good at because then you're going to be usually happier at it, right? So have you heard things like this before from people? Like, oh, you're really good at math, you should be an accountant. They can see something maybe in you that you don't. So you want to make sure that you are doing something that you want to do. Okay? So here are some things that you can do for steps. You want to prepare for your career while you're in college and get some experiences and resources to help you. Here is the career planning cycle, right? So first thing you want to do is learn about yourself. You're doing that in this class, right? You can take different assessments and things like that with career services as well to get to know a little bit more about who you are and your values, interests, personality, and skills, right? You want to explore majors, careers, jobs with the internship fair, the career fair. You can go to career services and talk about, what's out there. Focus your path. You want to say, okay, so now I know my major. I want to focus on those major classes. Try things out. Join clubs or organizations related to your major. Try internships, try job shadowing, things like that. And then it goes into the preparation for the job search. Do some interview readiness. Get your resume reviewed. Look at what is out there, okay, while you're about to graduate. And then steps towards success. You want to start interviewing. You want to start, creating a spreadsheet of where you've interviewed, where you want to go, kind of look at what's available and start applying. Okay, so that is the cycle. Okay, these are the things that you should have already, when you're doing this. What are you interested in? Your skills, values, and personality, like I mentioned before. There are some formal assessments. Career Services can help you with this, but this is a lot of different ones that you can Google to see what your values, interests, personality, and skills are. And a lot of these will, if let's say the DISC inventory and you see that you're S for stable, you can Google what do DISC S, results, what majors are best for that or what career paths. It's something that you can kind of do, and Career Services will also, like I said, help. You also want to see what kind of jobs are out there. This is a good website to go to see what are the top careers out there right now. You should also think about, you have those formal assessments, but like ask yourself, what do I want to do? Right? And ask others, ask your parents, ask your teachers, based on my skills, what do you think I'm good at? People who know you well. So your major is a very important decision, but you also need to know how you can apply that major into a career. Okay, so you want to know your knowledge, skills, and abilities, because that's going to really dictate what type of career is going to be best. So you know your interest, skills, values, personalities, right? You know what your strengths are. What you should be doing is looking at the jobs out there and seeing what matches, right? If the job asks for someone who is detail oriented and that's one of your skills, that's a match, right? So you want to make sure that the job you're looking for matches what you have to offer. And that's when you have employer needs and your strengths as a fit, right? It doesn't have to fit 100%, but you want to make sure that you're in the ballpark. Okay. You also want to kind of figure out what jobs are like. Look at, the labor market. Is this a trending up job, trending down? What is the starting salary? What a typical job on the, day on the job looks like. You can do an informational interview with somebody to ask about that. You want to be knowledgeable before you start applying for jobs about what it's going to be like once you have a job. You also want to kind of figure out what areas of the occupation interests are, so different types of fields, what it looks like. So depending on which type of career you want, you kind of look on here and see in the arts, what are the type of career paths you can take, right? So obviously with arts and STEM is based on your ideas, right? It's an idea generation type of career versus data generation is more administrative and business, right? So you want to kind of just look at this and see if that meshes well with what you want to do. So how do you gain all this knowledge that you're going to need, right? Join professional clubs on campus, network with them. Those job fairs, like I mentioned, internship fair, job fair, they're in the arena, they're huge, right? Go to the Occupational Outlook Handbook and see, I want to be a teacher, for example. Is that job going to be trending up? These are some other great websites. What can you do with your major? So if you're a psychology major, put it in there. See what all the jobs are that you can do. Some majors you should be going to grad school for, though. So make sure you know about grad school as an option too. One thing a lot of people don't know about with grad school is that if you have a graduate teaching assistant in a class or a graduate assistant in your residence hall or a graduate research assistant helping with your lab, they're going to school for free. They have a tuition waiver and they get paid about, $14,000 a year for working part-time. So if you are looking for a PhD program, a master's program, and you want to go to school for free with a tuition waiver, you should apply for graduate assistant jobs because then you get that waived tuition and you're getting paid for 20 hours a week. Okay. This doesn't typically happen with law school or med school, but any other typical master's or PhD program, that's what you should be looking at. Okay, so focus your path. Take advantage of all these resources, especially career services, right? Try things out, see what you like. You can do that through volunteering, through clubs, internships, because it's as valuable to know what you don't like than what you do like. Make sure that you're using your summers and your spring breaks and things like that to your advantage. Doing study abroads, internships, volunteering, reading and following people who you aspire to be like. Those are all important. You also need to think about what skills you've gained through those experiences that you can transfer to your career. Communication skills. If you're president of an organization, oh, you definitely have communication skills, right? Leadership skills with leadership positions, teamwork, working in group projects, quantitative literacy. If you had to do some analytical, homework with the statistics class, you have some quantitative literacy, right? IT, knowing how to utilize different aspects of Canvas, MyUCF, Workday if you work on campus. Research and analysis, if you had a research lab, these are all transferable skills to your future careers. So these are the things that employers want, right? Critical thinking, teamwork skills, professionalism skills, communication skills. Start thinking about what you've done in your classes and your clubs and organizations and part-time jobs or full-time jobs if you have it. What did you gain from those experiences that you can then transfer to the next step in your life? And those are going to be important with interview questions, especially. So, getting ready, get a resume, get a LinkedIn. Your digital profile, you want to make sure is clean, squeaky clean, right? A lot of people may be, erasing a lot of those time hop things that happen maybe in middle school or high school. You want to delete all of those and have a squeaky clean online presence. That is very important because they will Google you. They will see what is on your social media. If you're doing underage drinking, if you're putting a lot of stuff out there that's controversial, it may affect if you get hired or not. This is an example of a resume. Your resume is going to be due. So I want to make sure that you have all this information. Career Services does Zoom-based and walk-in resume critiques every day. Okay? Go get your resume reviewed. It is free. It will help you out. It will fix issues that you didn't even see because you've looked at it so much. Get your resume reviewed. Digital profile. This could be a LinkedIn profile that you also learned about in this class. You want to make sure that you have a professional presence on this. Social media, clean it up. This is what you need to be doing now to prepare for when you're applying for jobs. You also may want to have a portfolio, right? A portfolio could be something you have as a link on your LinkedIn profile. This could be a website that you create on WordPress or something like that to digitize important things that you have accomplished. You can have hyperlinks from your resume to these things. So for example, let's say you did a workshop for a professional organization. You might link it as a bullet in your resume and link the actual presentation on this other site. That's something that you can do. Any projects that you did in class, you can link from your LinkedIn or resume to this other page. These are great ways that employers might want to see a little bit more than what you put in text. Networking is also important. You want to be yourself, but be a polite, professional version of yourself, right? You don't want to be too casual. You want to listen to other people, have some questions. So if you're going to a networking event, perhaps, you want to have some questions about what you should be asking the people the alumni perhaps that you are meeting with. Say thank you, don't stress out. You want to make sure that these questions are about what did they study in college? What's their job like? It helps give you those informational interview questions that you might be seeking. Okay, keep in touch with people. Um, for example, if your address is fortnightfan@gmail.com, want to change that, right? But you can use your UCF one that you have. Say thank you, write thank you notes. Thank you notes are a uh, or something that has gone out of style, but are so important. Letters of recommendations also something you may need for a job. I would ask a professor, someone that knows you well. Online courses probably aren't the best way for you to get to know professors, but try to find professors who may know you, who could speak to your skills and your personality. Have them just kind of in your back pocket for when you may need it, or for a scholarship or a a leadership position or award. You want to have a letter of rec kind of in your back pocket, and you want to ask before you need it, at least 2 weeks ahead of time. Things change. That's okay. Jobs change. You may get a job in a different field. That is fine. We want to make sure that you're trying to get a career that has a purpose at the end of it, right? That you're fulfilling your purpose through your career. So this is like another version of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Job is going to provide you that food, welfare, shelter, and safety, right? Your career is going to help you find a belonging, but the purpose is when you're going to feel more self-worth and inner fulfillment. And that's what we want you to get to as a result of your career. And that is it for chapter 11 and 12. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you online because this is the last Zoom that we have. Have a great day, everybody.